All right. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? It looks like we have a clearer camera. Yay. I messed around with the lighting a little bit. We'll see how we do today. If I can quit bumping the desk and shaking everything. But I hope you're having a great Sunday. And I decided I was going to make some more of those simple glittery hearts like the tutorial this week. So I kind of lined them out, and I'm going to start here with some gesso just to start out. So let me know when you're here. Say hi in the comments, but I'm going to use this gesso to give a base for the heart. So the main difference between this and the tutorial is that I'm not, on the tutorial, the whole rock was base coated like a lighter color. And I'm not going to do that with these. I'm going to just put the matte color on the heart. So the background of the heart will be some different colors. So I'm just going to put a little bit of gesso down to start. Hi, Donna. Welcome. All the way from Indiana. So cool. We've got the Pro Bowl on in the background. Sammy's running in and out between outside playing football and inside coming in to watch. He's never seen any sort of like all-star game, so he was pretty excited about that. Hopefully you're all having a restful Sunday. I'm kind of turning this weekend into a 3-day weekend, not on purpose, but our schools are having a professional development day tomorrow, and because of COVID, the childcare situation is very precarious, and so there's no childcare, so I took the day off, and so it'll be a 3-day weekend, which will be good because it gives us an extra day to catch up on chores, and I think we might bake some cookies. I kind of want to send some cookies to work with my husband on Valentine's Day because I didn't get to it at Christmas time. That's usually something I like to do, and I didn't get to it, so I want to send some with him, and I think we might make the cookies ahead of time and then do the frosting next week, so they're super fresh. But we have a rash of warm weather. I think in my area we just broke some sort of record for the driest January, and I don't know if it was ever, or if not ever, it was in a very long time. So that's not good. We need some more snow and moisture to help us get out of the drought we've been in for several years, but hopefully February will give us some, since the groundhog says more winter. But I forgot again to bring a fan over here to help these dry. So I think gesso dries pretty quickly. So I think we'll be okay, being that we're alternating between 3 rocks. So I'm going to set this guy aside. And the other thing I wanted to mention about these rocks is they're very oddly shaped. So I kind of picked those on purpose because I know sometimes we don't always have the perfect rocks. Like look at the back of this one. It has a huge like hole in it. So this was my first batch that I was a little disappointed. I ordered from Home Depot, the Mexican beach pebbles. They're larger Mexican beach pebbles, but they're a little more misshapen. You can see not as perfect, but you just have to kind of use your imagination, and you can see how a heart fits perfectly in the smooth spot here. Hi, Mary Jane. Yeah, I wish I had a cookie right now, actually. So yeah, these are definitely imperfect. And this one's really interesting because it's very long, and you might not have thought heart, but I thought long and skinny heart for this one. So we'll see how they come out. I stopped at Michael's on the way home on Friday. I was actually killing time before picking up pizza, but I grabbed that teal, what was it? Teal. It's Deco Art Holographic Illusions glitter paint, and we had a teal one we used on a mandala a little bit ago. And so I got, come on, focus on this, not my hand. I got some of it in, it's like the hologram glitter paint, but it's more chunky. So I thought that might be kind of fun to kind of be very similar to the hologram glitter paint that I use a lot, but have it be kind of next level, really sparkly. So one of these hearts I'm just going to do it white. It'll be like kind of like a wedding heart, I guess. I'm going to do white paint for the heart and then that chunky glitter in the middle. And then I've got, what else do I have over here? I have some pink. And then I've got the rose gold because I wanted to try it with rose gold. And I finally got this open. Remember a couple weeks ago, I couldn't get this stupid glitter paint open. I got it open. So, but this glitter is so pretty. I don't know if it'll focus on it very well, but it's very, very pretty. So I wanted to do the rose gold and that glitter. So figured why not? That'd be a good thing to sit and hang out with you guys and do this afternoon. So that is what we're up to. How is everyone else's week going? I don't see Tammy in here, at least not yet, or she's being quiet, and I hope she's doing better because I know she was dealing with COVID and thought she was over it, and then it kind of came back with a vengeance. So I'm hoping that she is doing better, getting well from that. It's not fun. Oh, I got some paint on here. I don't know what I got on here, but we'll get it off. A little spit never hurt anything, right? So I'm just doing the gesso because these stones, it's kind of twofold. These stones are very smooth, so they can almost be slippery when you put the first coat of paint down, and gesso has a little bit of grip to it, is I guess the best way to describe it. It's kind of, I don't know that I would go so far to say rough when you touch it, but it's definitely got more of a texture to it than plain paint. So that's why I say it has grip. It kind of helps give something for the paint to hold on to instead of, when you could still put the matte paint down, it just, that first coat is a little more slippery, and I think it then requires more coats. And it also helps to serve as a base coat to give nice, bright, bold colors. So it's kind of become a staple in my my arsenal of rock painting supplies. I use it on almost everything. And if you don't have it, you could use white paint for base coating. I've heard chalk paint works really well because it's kind of got that roughed out texture to it also. So that's also an option that you could use. Testing. Oh, good. Yeah. So we're drying good in between here, I think, as long as we don't put the paint on too thick. So I think in this one, the heart almost looks crooked because of, there's a big like hump in this rock, you can see. So it kind of makes the heart look a little misshapen, but that's okay. So let me cap this gesso off. Hi, Sammy. What's up?
The purple still on?
Yeah, it's a commercial right now, but it's still on. So I'm gonna do this first one with rose gold because it's got a nice smooth spot for it.
And then you're gonna be done.
In a little while. I'm just gonna do these 3 rocks and then I'll be done.
Wait, so you're just painting them gold and then that's it?
Gold and then some glitter.
And that's it?
Yep.
2 more things.
Well, they have to dry, and I might have to do 2 coats because see how this isn't quite covering it?
Yeah.
So it might take 2 coats of the metallic. We'll see.
It's covering a lot.
I know. I really like this color. It's funny, I don't like gold jewelry and whatnot, but I do enjoy gold paint. Hold on, Sammy. And the rose gold is just a nice, subtle kind of version. It's kind of like a cross between copper and gold. And it's really pretty. Yes, Sammy, what?
Because I know how to go on my rollerblades. Can I get my helmet on too so I can go rollerblades?
If you put your helmet and your pads on, yes.
But I don't know where my pads are.
They are in the square brown tote thingy in your room. I saw them. I saw them the other night. There's you know those little drawers that you put stuff, so you store your toys and stuff in, like your Matchbox cars. There's one of them by the head of your bed that has your pads in it. I saw it last night. Go check. if you take your shoes off, you can slide them up over your pants.
No, I don't know how to do that. I have to wear shorts.
No, you can wear your pants. I bet Sissy or Donnie could help you. Oh, the woes of a 6-year-old, poor guy. He wants to go rollerblading outside. All right, so let's see. This might take a little bit to dry, but you can see just a very subtle color. Kind of nice. Get that light on a little bit brighter. My sunshine is doing weird things here. So I'm going to set this aside. It's going to need a second coat because it's not fully covered just yet. It's got some brush lines in it. I don't know if you can see those, but so I'm going to set that aside for a second, and then let's do this guy. I brought this matte pink. It's a folk art, or it says it's bright pink rose, I guess. Bought this a few weeks ago at Michael's just to see what's the big deal about matte paint. It's a little thicker. It's kind of weird because matte paint, when I think about what I use for sealers, everything's shiny. So I'm not sure there's a point for me using matte paint, but it's pretty pink. So I'm just going to go with it. I used to hate the color pink when I was in high school. I would not wear things that were pink. I would not write with things. I would not, just no pink. Now I have embraced pink. It's part of my life. Near the top of your bed on the floor in one of those brown drawer thingies.
No, they're not.
Okay, well then get your helmet on and look outside and see if your pads are outside on the picnic table.
They're not.
Okay, get your helmet then. You have to have at least your helmet on.
Okay.
Does anybody have exciting plans for the Super Bowl next week? We don't usually do too much. We used to have a set group of friends we invite over, and then since COVID, we haven't really done it. And I think my poor husband has to work, so that's a bummer. Hopefully Grandma will come and we can hang out and eat some snacks. We'll see how that goes. But so yeah, this pink gets pretty good coverage considering pink is often one of those tricky colors like yellow that needs a little extra attention and base coating and coats. But this paint does get a pretty solid coverage, so that in and of itself might be a pretty decent reason to keep it around. Folk Art tends to be a pretty good brand. You can see there's brush strokes in here too. This will need a second go around just to even it out, but yeah, even if the matte part doesn't show, I think the coverage is worthy. Some good stuff. So let's make this strange long guy the white one. And I guess it just makes me think wedding, like wedding dress, because it's going to be white with a pop of iridescent glitter in it, which should be pretty cool. Let's see how it goes. This makes me think of when I was I think of as a kid when toll painting was a really popular thing. Everybody was taking toll painting classes and doing the painting on wooden things, and these long skinny hearts remind me of that. I wonder if that'll make a comeback. Seems like lots of crafty things have made a comeback, and I don't know. I remember there being lots of classes to do it, which I think is good to have the ability to go learn. I guess those paint and sip places, they're very popular, where you paint on canvases and kind of get the play-by-play instruction. Those are fun. And I guess YouTube probably has changed the game quite a bit too, because a lot of people do that kind of stuff there, whether it's drawing or rocks or canvases or whatever. You can find a lot of stuff on YouTube. Just like you found me. Aha. Always food for Super Bowl. I'm hoping to go to your daughter's house. Cool. So what will you bring? If you're going to go, what will you bring, or what's the plan on the menu? I feel like there might be a 6-foot sub sandwich in our future for Super Bowl, just because we have a Subway and a Porta Subs close by, and make at least the main part kind of easy. And then I think the kids look forward to Super Bowl because it's a snack fest and you get to kind of graze on food all day and chips. And I think Sammy thinks that that's the only thing you eat on Super Bowl is chips, because he told me that a couple of weeks ago. But I'm going to have some appetizery, salty stuff, and then you're going to have some desserts too. I don't like beer, so I'm a strange person in that way, but that's okay. Don't need a drink. Maybe we can find some fun like juice recipe or something on Pinterest. In 2020, when we usually go somewhere for 4th of July every year, same place, and 2020 we couldn't because of COVID, and so we tried to we just stayed here at the house, and we tried to make it as fun for the kids as we could. So we camped out in the backyard, and I think it was that year that I did this. I can't remember now, but I had seen a thing on Pinterest where you make red and blue Kool-Aid, and you freeze it in, you could just do regular ice cubes, but I found this cute silicone mold that was star-shaped. So I froze red and blue Kool-Aid in these star-shaped ice cubes, and then you save them, and then you pour a glass of Sprite, so it's a clear soda, and then over these red and blue ice cubes, and it's like a 4th of July drink. And it was really cute because the Kool-Aid starts seeping out into the Sprite. It was pretty cute. Maybe we can do that with whatever the team colors are for next weekend or something. That was fun. Oh, I see. You got to check in and coordinate the menu. That makes sense. Goodness. Such a sunny day outside. I did promise Sammy I will go outside and pass the football with him after this. So have to enjoy the sunshine. Why are you barking, little doggy? Nobody's here, silly. That's our 6-pound guard dog. At least he thinks he is. But yeah, this paint is pretty, I'm impressed with the coverage for a pink. Pink can be very finicky. This matte paint has done all right, I think. Has everybody painted a bunch of Valentine rocks? Are you ready to hide them, or did you hide them as you painted? I haven't hidden any of mine yet. I have this terrible habit of when I make them, like the ones I make for the videos for you guys, I'll resin the front of it with the UV resin so that I can show you what it looks like. And then I wait and do art resin all over both sides again to get everything. And so I don't really hide them as I make them. So I've got quite a stockpile, and we probably need to get them out this week because Valentine's Day is a week from tomorrow. So, and the world needs a little love. It's been rough. I think the world could use a little love and random acts of kindness. We've had some tough losses in our community the last week to 2 weeks, and I think the more kindness there is, the better. It can't hurt anything. People might roll their eyes, and they might not. I will take the chance. All right, so there's the white. Just needs a little bit of drying time. The rose gold is a little bit sticky, but I think we could still put the glitter on. Let's see how this goes. So I'm going to use this Glitterific Fine. You can see it kind of dripping down in the bottle. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I had to thin it out because when I got it, it was kind of gluey, kind of thick and gluey and hard to apply. And for the most part, I use dotting tools for glitter paint, not so much paintbrushes, but it was still very like, wow, I guess I watered it down quite a bit. It was pretty thick. So now you can kind of see that there, how pretty it is. Just got so much dimension to it. I love this. So I'm just gonna start putting it on there, even though we're a little bit, oh goodness, come on, Cap. Even though we're a little bit tacky. So I'm just gonna kind of, okay, I need more. There's some sticky stuff in the top of the cap not cooperating with me. But I'm just gonna kind of freehand out the shape of a heart. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, got some on the mat now. That's funny. I am all kinds of messy today. But just freehand, it's not going to have a definite line in the same way like if you were to outline it with black or anything like that. And that's the point. We want it to be subtle. And what might be interesting, since these aren't on a background color, they're on a naked rock, it might be interesting to do something with the glitter paint and outline the heart, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what we look like here in a minute. I'm just kind of outlining it really thick. That's one of the reasons I use the dotting tools, is because it gets the glitter on thick, which I think to me means more sparkle. I may be completely out of my mind, but when it's on thick, it really has lots of the glitter, in it. So it gets the sunlight, like it catches the rays of light and just really has tons of dimension, which is fun. So this is going to take a while to dry because it is very thick. Just totally okay. So Mary Jane hasn't done Valentine's Day because she's been under the weather. But your hearts are always lopsided. So you could use a piece of paper, use the old trick like elementary school where you fold a piece of paper and draw half a heart, and then you've kind of created yourself a little like a template to trace over. That's one way to, it's kind of hard to do on rocks sometimes because I know they're not a flat surface to trace, but it does help. And I still do that too. I don't always freehand. So it's definitely a helpful tip. This one is really making my brain feel lopsided because the rock just has all these kind of humps and lumps in it that it's creating kind of an optical illusion of if it's lopsided or not. So we shall see. But you can see how sparkly that is. And so with resin on it, that will just catch the light. It's on there really thick. This is going to take probably overnight to dry really good. So I probably won't resin this until tomorrow. I think, do I want to outline the heart? I think I might outline the heart. I think we will give this heart some definition by, I'm actually going to wipe this glitter off because I keep sticking my hand in it. Give this little mat a wash, but How did I guess what you do for a heart stencil? Just a guess. See? Good for you. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all. Little hacks for life and rock painting. Fold a piece of paper and make a heart. Oh my gosh, there's glitter and gesso and everything everywhere. I'm going to use a smaller end of the dotting tool and just outline. I'm going to try and stay on the rock part, actually. Not so much the rose gold color, so you can see it kind of darkening up the rock. That's where I'm going to put the outline so that it just kind of ties the whole thing together and gives it a little definition. This is such an awkwardly shaped rock. I can't hold on to it properly. But they're good size. You can see how big it is in my hand. So I think definitely noticeable to someone and, you know, fun for a yard or I always wonder what people do with them. I see a lot of people in our area rehide them or they'll keep them for a little bit and then, oh, a shamrock next week. Gosh, that's a good suggestion. Maybe I will put that down because shamrocks are not easy to draw. Are you trying to challenge me live? I see. I struggle with stupid shamrocks. But you can use hearts, the shape of a heart for those too to help. But yeah, let me write that down so I don't forget. A lot of the time I don't know what I'm going to do until like an hour before we come on, which is silly, but just my life, I guess, at the moment. But yeah, shamrock, we could do that. I suppose the whole letdown happens after oh yeah, that's right. You're right. Next week is Super Bowl Sunday, so we probably won't be here, but that's not a terrible one to postpone to the next week though, because St. Patrick's Day is still more than a month off. So you can kind of see how that will dry, and I think that darkening will go away, but you'll just be left with the shimmery glitter. So very simple, super simple. I think sometimes people get caught up worrying that you have to have something super intricate, and you don't. You don't necessarily. Simple is good. And I can see now that I've still got some lines on here from the pink, so I'm going to give it one more coat, just because I don't love having lines. Let me get that in there really quickly. I think I might give the white another coat too, because it looks like it's got some areas where it didn't fully get covered. But yeah, I think simplicity that was kind of the theme. I wasn't able to do any voiceovers on the videos this week because I just was a little too crazy of a week around here. But my point in the heart one, that kind of where these were inspired from, was to kind of, there's a lot of beauty in simplicity, and sometimes we overthink or overdo or think it has to be so much more. And I think simplicity can be almost more beautiful, right? These are super eye-catching and fun way to use glitter paint. You can do playing into the Valentine's, but really these are super cute any time of the year because it's about kindness, right? It doesn't have to be just at Valentine's. Hearts are a common kindness rock theme, I think, and they can be easy. They can take on many shapes and doodle them. I think even uneven hearts are pretty. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you think a lot of like how you see in clip art and stuff, kind of like scribbly rocks, and they're totally cute. So let that dry just a tiny bit more. And I'm liking how this came out. I was really wanting to do the rose gold combination, and you could see I touched this, I think. No, that's the rock. But sometimes when I touch these stones, if I have lotion on, the oils get into the rock. Like this one might have it, I think. Like you can see some of that. I touched it with lotion on. So I'll just take a sponge or a paper towel and wipe that off, and it comes off before I resin it, so it's not there. But so funny. But I'm really liking how this one came out. It's going to be very pretty once we get resin on it. And everything dries, because that glitter is just so pretty. And I love the rose gold. Super pretty. So I didn't bring a pink glitter over. Look how that matches the background almost perfectly in the camera. That's so funny. I didn't bring a pink glitter over because I figured I would use this new paint on both of these. Because from what I can see when I opened it and looked at it, it looks very much like the hologram glitter paint that I like so much from Folk Art, different brand, but it looks like iridescent clear. It's pretty thick, but if it's like that other one, it's going to be chunky. That teal one was quite chunky. So let's give this a try. So we're going to put it on both the pink and the white and see how we fare. It was very chunky. So let me just get an idea where my heart's going to go first, I guess. And then we'll fill it in because it is super thick. Just get the basic shape on there, and then I'm just gonna kind of dab it, chunk it on. Maybe I should shake this bottle up a little better. It does look like it kind of settled a bit. So let me put the cap back on and shake real quick just to see if we can mix it up any better. It does feel a little bit thick and weird. But I think it's going to be really pretty. If it's anything like that teal, I think this will be pretty in a sort of a more subtle way, I guess, because it's not a color. It's just a thick, I might have to use the brush a little bit for this one. It is a thick paint. Just going to get it on there as straight as I can, because with those bigger chunks, sometimes it makes it harder to get the edge of the heart nice and smooth. So right now it just looks like Elmer's glue, I guess, sort of. It's got that white color, but I think that will dry clear, just like an Elmer's glue. And we'll be left with all the pretty glitter, which you can see it's super chunked up on the, focus maybe. It's super chunked up on the dotting tool. That's okay. And there's a hair, like a tiny little hair, like an eyelash. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Guess that's a way to put a little bit of yourself into your art. Leave an eyelash in the glitter paint. Well, something tells me it might have been Sammy's. No, it wasn't Sammy's. It wasn't long enough. Sammy has ridiculously long eyelashes. It is not fair. Okay, so we've got that on there. Now let's see about outlining this one too. This one's a little more smooth. This glitter is not as smooth, so it will be interesting to see how this goes on. But I try when I do the glitter paint not to actually touch the rock with the dotting tool. I try to kind of get enough glitter paint where I can kind of glide it onto the stone without touching the rock. Mainly because when you do touch the rock, you kind of drag it and it'll leave like a little drag mark in there. So that's kind of why I try and not do that. This is super chunky, so it's not going to be completely even, but I think that might be part of what's cute, is that it won't be even. It's going to be chunky glitter going around. And sometimes this covers up if you had any like residual chalk lines, or if you had not a perfect straight line, maybe a little paint run over. This kind of covers it up and nobody knows. I can't wait to see what this looks like dry. I don't know if it's going to dry for us quickly here because it's so thick. Well, you can kind of see it around the edges of the center heart. It's starting to dry, and it looks very much like hologram glitter paint, but chunkier so far. So maybe this outline will dry a little faster because it's less thick. Let's see. But I can feel the chunks of glitter in it, so it's funny. There's a time and a place for all glitters, I guess, because one of the things I like about dragonfly glaze is that it's so fine that when you put it down, it's smooth. Like you can actually write on it. But clean it up a little bit. And sometimes with glitter paint too, you can take a paintbrush and kind of push it into place if it needs to. Like if you want to smooth out the line and make it very straight or something, you can take a paintbrush, or I'll use the those disposable eyeliner brushes because they're super fine line, and just like lay it. I don't know if I can show on here, but like if you kind of lay it up against the side like this, you can kind of shape that if there's a little bit too wet, but if there's a line out of place or it feels a little too rough, you can kind of smooth it out a bit that way. Just pull this into a little bit more of a point, and we'll let this guy dry. Hopefully it'll give us a little more drying while we're sitting here. The edges are trying to dry on the outline. Peek back at the rose gold again. Drying good. It's going to be pretty. And then let's chunk some on this white. See how that goes. Definitely a stranger shape here, so let's kind of follow that line for the heart. Let's see if we can make some sparklies. Who'd ever thought to do white paint? It just sounded pretty to me. If you'd have told me that a week ago, I'd have said it sounded kind of boring when you have all these colors in the crate over there, but I think it might be really pretty in a very unique, simple way. And of course, the light is making it hard for you to see. But I just kind of outlined on there a little bit, and then I'm going to fill it in nice and chunky. Let's see how this goes. Hi, Amber. Welcome. Lots of hearts, lots of hearts. We're approaching Valentine's Day. Oh, that reminds me, we got to make Sammy's Valentine box in the next week. He wanted to do something football themed, and me and my silly self, of course, went on Pinterest, and they have some really cute Valentine boxes where one of them is shaped like a football. I think that's the one he wants to do. And then they had some other ones that were shaped like jerseys with the numbers, and then you paint it, I guess, the color of your favorite team. They were pretty cute too. He's very excited about that. Oh, you're most welcome. Thanks for watching them. There wouldn't be any use in posting them if nobody watched them, I guess, but you guys enjoy them, so it makes it fun. Got our own little community going. I suppose I could even say international, because I know there are a few people that watch that are in other countries, which is just crazy to me. Pretty neat. All right, so this white one has just been harder to see, so I'll angle it this way, but you can see how I kind of chunked it on there. It's gonna dry. the chunkiness won't matter so much once you can see there's kind of some bumps in how it went on in there. Isn't too big. I think that's actually the glitter. That's how chunky this glitter is, that it doesn't level out in the same way that the rose gold one did. So let's add more. Try and smooth it out. That's funny. Okay, let's give this an outline. Pink is trying to dry. It's trying to dry. I see it. Or the pink heart, rather. I think these are going to be a lot of fun once I get some resin on them. Very bright and happy. Yeah, this is definitely some chunky glitter. It almost makes it hard not to touch the rock because some of the chunks of glitter touch the rock, so it feels like you are. But this is going to be pretty. I suppose this one could have used some red accents too, but that's me overthinking. I'm going to leave it white. Go for simplicity, purity, and innocence, and whatever else white represents. Surrender. Wave the white flag. Oh, you're welcome, Mary Jane. There's definitely a whole lot of imposter syndrome sometimes because I am not any kind of trained artist, and I've been doing this for almost 5 years, I guess, as a hobby. But so it's definitely just sharing little tips that I've either learned or stumbled upon as an accident and little designs I can think up. Oh, we have a spammer. Let's go ahead and put that one in timeout. Bye-bye. Ugh. I'm thankful that we haven't had to deal with those too much, but I guess that means we're on somebody's radar that's not a rock painter. Somehow we're somebody's radar, but they need to go away. We don't need their links and their spam and their junk. All right, let's pull this guy into a point. And this one has a nice little like divotty mess in the like right here in the point that's kind of annoying. I'm not sure. I might need to put a little more white paint in there to clean up our lines a bit. But let me do that really quickly, and then maybe the pink will dry a tiny bit more because it's trying, and I want to show it to you until it's a little more dry because it's pretty. And then we'll probably call it a day. Oh, Sunday. Still got one more little laundry to fold. I'm gonna do this. Fill in this little hole with some white so that it looks clean. There we go. Fixed it. So you kind of see it looking down at a different angle. Hey, Terry. How are you? We're just about to wrap up. Oh, you're cleaning too. Oh, Amber used your dotting tools like this too? I don't know where. I don't feel like I learned that from anyone. I just started doing it randomly, and it works really well because it seems to blow some people's minds when they first discover it, which is kind of funny. Oh, poor Terry, you were cleaning too. So let's take a peek at the rose gold. This is dry. The edge is dry. I'm not going to stick my finger in the middle because that part is really thick and I think it's still probably tacky. But that's the rose gold heart, and you can just see that pretty glitter. This is going to be really pretty with resin. And then the pink is trying to dry. It's trying, not quite there yet, but you can kind of see on the edges. It's definitely got some huge chunks of glitter. This one I think is going to be interesting because I think the color of what's in the middle versus what's here on the outside, because of what's behind it, is going to be a little different, because this is on the natural stone and this is on the pink. But I still think it's going to be really cute. But I guess you're going to have to come back to see the finished product. I have last week's that I need to post. I did resin the front of that one. And this guy's still super wet, so not really there yet. So Mary Jane's asking, can you put a second coat of glitter once the first is dried? Yes, especially if you don't feel like it got as shiny or as glittery as you want it to be, you absolutely can. I do that a lot with dots. Or if you happen to use a paintbrush and it just goes on a little thinner, or you did the dotting tool and it's not as vibrant as you want it to be, you can absolutely go over it with more glitter. I think this guy is definitely chunky enough. I think all of these are going to show up well enough because I put them on really thick, but I said I was going to touch it. It's kind of dry on top, but if I push too hard, it's going to fingerprint, I think. I'll be leaving more of myself in the rock. We'll add an eyelash and a fingerprint. Thank you, Terry. I like painting like this too on the natural stones lately. That's kind of been one of my favorites. So I will get these resined and share a picture later this week for Valentine's Day, maybe. And I have a picture of the one we did last week with the watercolor pencils and the kind of the rainbow heart. And I'll try and get that up today so you can see it. But yeah, I hope everybody has a great week. Stay safe, stay warm, stay healthy. Please stay healthy. Do your best. And paint lots of rocks and spread some kindness, because, geez, we really need it in the world. We need lots of kindness. So, yes, and happy Hearts Day. I guess that's true. So we won't have a live stream next week because it's Super Bowl. We'll take a break. If I can get to it with this extra day off, maybe I'll have an extra video out during the week just for fun. Since no live stream, we'll see how it goes. And then, oh, great idea. Great idea, Donna. You have a couple of heart-shaped rocks, or almost heart-shaped rocks, that would look great on, which is kind of exactly what I did with both of these, right? Like, they're not heart-shaped necessarily, but now that it's on there, you can see it. Like, it's got the general shape. This one had the general shape of a heart, and this one was just a lumpy. Look at how bumpy and lumpy this is. And look at the back. Like, one of these days I'm going to come up with a good design that works with stuff like this. Like, make a nose out of it, or that could have made like maybe a sugar skull at Halloween time. That would have been fun. Get really creative. Yes, kindness always. And yes, let's share the love. Let's make lots of hearts and lots of anything. Just put it out in the world and make sure you smile at people, because I think we need more of that. Even if you have a mask on, you can see it with your eyes, right? You can tell when people are smiling at you, and much better than frowning. So with that, you guys have a great week, and I will see you. I guess I'll see you in cyberspace. Maybe I can make some of the videos this week a premiere where we can chat live when it goes live, since there won't be a live on Sunday. But otherwise, I will see you in 2 weeks for another live stream. And oh, good idea, Amber, a keyhole. That's a good idea. Maybe I should do that. Find the most messed up looking rock, so to speak, in that box, and bring it here and let you guys figure out what we'll do with it. That's a great idea. You guys have great ideas. All right, everybody have a great week, and I will see you in a couple weeks. Take care, stay safe, and stay healthy. Bye.